get down!" The HOA tyrant screamed, pointing a Glock at my daughter's face, over a parking violation. But in one blinding second, the gun changed owners. My daughter disarmed him, and then she said, "I've trained Navy SEALs to kill 37 ways. Want to be number 38? Everyone froze. 3 minutes later, real police arrived, and the HOA's 8-year regime? Done. This is the story of how a corrupt HOA tyrant picked the wrong victim, and how our daughter sparked a rebellion that changed HOA laws nationwide. My name's Jet Storm. I'm a retired NASA engineer. My wife Ravina and I have lived in Sunny Pines for 15 years. The neighborhood looks peaceful, but the HOA? They rule with an iron fist. Lawn must be under 2 inches. No flowers outside the approved drought-resistant list. Every mailbox must be desert beige. Yes, that's a real thing. And then came Marigold, our daughter. She's a Navy SEAL trainer, 12 years of military service. Tough, calm, and visiting us for the first time in 6 months? She parked her Jeep in the visitor spot, only allowed for 30 minutes. But she was unloading boxes, installing a new home security system for us. Then she got a call. One of her trainees was in the middle of a PTSD breakdown. Marigold talked him down for 25 minutes. Using the same training she teaches SEALs to survive combat stress. But she forgot to move the Jeep, and that's when the tyrant arrived. Nero Wilder, HOA's security chief. Not a real cop, just looks like one. He wore a badge and mirrored sunglasses, and he was furious. "Your daughter's 13 minutes over the parking limit?" He shouted. "300 fine. Tow truck on the way." Before I could respond, Marigold stepped out. Calm, respectful, exhausted. "Sir, I just finished a 72-hour SEAL training block. I was unloading gear and helping my parents. I'll move it in 15 minutes. But Nero wasn't listening. He pulled out his phone, started recording her face. "You think the rules don't apply to you? I enforce compliance. People like you are why we have problems." Marigold stayed calm. "I'm requesting a reasonable accommodation due to extenuating circumstances." She turned to walk back inside. That's when Nero grabbed her by the arm. "You don't walk away when I'm talking." Bad idea. In a blink, she disarmed him, flipped him into the rose bushes, and stood over him, calm as ever. He scrambled to his feet, thorn-covered and red-faced. "You just assaulted an officer," he screamed. "I'm calling the real police." He stormed off.
20 minutes later, he was back, with backup and a gun. Nero brought 2 HOA board members, including one who looked deeply confused. He banged on the door, yelling, "Security! Come out now!" Marigold opened the door. Nero pulled a Glock 19 from under his jacket and pointed it at her. "On the ground! You're under arrest." Marigold stayed calm. She scanned the scene. 12 feet distance, gun shaking, witnesses nearby. "Mr. Wilder, pointing that weapon is a felony. Lower it." "Now!" He didn't move. He just shouted, "I'm the law in this community." Marigold took a slow step forward. "You don't want to do this. Is a parking spot worth prison?" She took another step. Then, she moved. In one precise motion, she disarmed him, twisted his wrist, pulled the Glock away, and dropped him to the lawn. Gun safely in her hand. Finger off the trigger. Calm. "Call the police," she told me. "Tell them the suspect has been disarmed, but is still dangerous." The real police arrived. Officer Rodriguez took one look at the scene, my daughter calmly restraining Wilder on the lawn, and took detailed notes. She explained everything, her military background, her restraint, the Glock, now cleared and safe. Wilder was handcuffed and put in the cruiser, still shouting about his authority. I thought justice had been served. I was wrong. 2 hours later, we were giving statements at the station. When Nancy Weber walked in, HOA president, pearls, perfect suit, and right behind her, Police Chief Thompson, Nancy's buddy, her fixer. And the moment Thompson walked in, the mood shifted. He didn't ask questions, didn't review evidence, just said, "There's been a misunderstanding. Mr. Wilder was doing his duty." They uncuffed him, returned his weapon. My jaw dropped. He pointed a loaded gun at my daughter over a parking rule. I protested. Thompson shrugged. He says she threatened him. It's her word against his. We were stunned. But the worst part? They scheduled an emergency HOA meeting to vote us out of the community. Most people would have backed down. Not Marigold. She called Michael Chen, a civil rights lawyer, and her old college friend. "This isn't about parking anymore," she said. "This is organized corruption, and we're going to expose it." Michael arrived the next day, briefcase in hand. They got to work. They found Wilder's sealed assault record. They traced payments from HOA funds into Nancy's fake companies. And the worst, payments to Chief Thompson himself, disguised as safety contributions. Then came the intimidation. Every day we got new violations. Lawn 1/4 inch too tall, $500 fine. Unauthorized camera, $1,000. Community disruption, $10,000 and eviction warning. Water shut off, porch lights disconnected. Wilder parked outside our home every night, revving his engine, watching. But Marigold didn't flinch. She installed hidden cameras. She documented everything. And then she discovered the HOA's deepest secret. They'd been targeting vulnerable families, harassing them into selling homes below market value, and flipping them for profit through Nancy's brother. They'd done it to 24 families. Now it was our turn. But we weren't going anywhere. The next HOA meeting was packed. Nancy was smug. Wilder stood at the door with his badge. She announced, "Today, we vote to evict the Storm family." That's when Marigold stood up. "I invoke Section 7 of the HOA bylaws, the right to respond before any disciplinary vote." George Williams, retired federal judge and longtime resident, backed her up. "The rules are clear. Let her speak." Marigold plugged in her laptop and unleashed Operation Exposure. Slide by slide, she revealed $600,000 in dues, missing, fake contracts, secret payments to Wilder and Nancy's shell companies, footage of Wilder sabotaging homes, financial trails leading to Chief Thompson's political fund. The crowd gasped. Nancy tried to stop her, but the residents were furious. Phones were out. People were filming. Then Wilder moved, hand drifting toward his hip. He forgot. He didn't have a gun anymore. Mr. Patel and Mr. Gonzalez, two longtime residents, stepped between him and Marigold. Then, the doors burst open. FBI, Special Agent Carter walked in. "Wilder, Nancy, you're under arrest for fraud, embezzlement, and conspiracy." The HOA room erupted. Wilder was cuffed, stunned silent. Nancy tried to run, but Carter blocked her. What followed made national headlines. Wilder, sentenced to 5 years in prison. Nancy, convicted of embezzling $300,000. Chief Thompson, resigned in disgrace, indicted for corruption, and the people of Sunny Pines? We took our community back. HOA fees dropped 40%. Corrupt rules erased. Transparent elections held. Marigold didn't stop there. With Michael's help, she launched a nonprofit, Community Shield, helping victims of HOA abuse fight back, with legal support, training, and reform. In its first year, it helped 30 neighborhoods remove corrupt